All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I go by the name of Jonathan Reese. I have BB Pro Men's Physique, and this will be my documentary series that I'm shooting heading into the Sasquatch Pro and the Legions Pro Festival, actually, that is. Sasquatch Pro is on September 21st. Today is the 9th, so I'm officially about a week and 5 days out. And the Legions Pro Festival is about 2 weeks and 5 days as well. It's been a grind, man, but I wanted to tell a backstory as far as what I've been going through pretty much all of 2024 that I've pretty much led up to these moments that you're about to see in this 4-part documentary series, so stay tuned.
All right, John, so what has been different in your personal life during this 2024 prep?
It's been a lot of changes this year specifically, man. My daughter's getting older, so, with that becomes more responsibility. She's pretty much a 20-year-old and she turns 5 tomorrow, a 5-year-old body. So, just really navigating the waters of parenthood, man, and just trying to balance everything. Like, I restarted my PhD program, which that's stressful in itself. My wife became a supervisor. So this prep has been testing, and that's one thing I can say. But with tests, it's either, you pass or fail, or in my case, what I like to say is either you pass or you learn a lesson. So, and I've been learning many lessons this year about, trusting myself, trusting God, and just really believing in my ability to be great. So personally, it's been a lot of growth, and I owe that to a lot of the tests that I've been through, man. So I'm excited. I feel like I'm putting my best package on stage this time around. I feel like without those tests, without that personal growth, I probably wouldn't have done that. I recently had a coaching change in April, I believe. And I love my old coach, but me and her had a discussion, and we decided to go a different direction. And that was hard in itself because I was, attached to her. You know what I mean? Like, she's like family. She's like an extended mom. So in order for me to do that, that was tough in itself. So, but she's been supportive this whole time, and now I'm with, Ariel, with Cuts, and just navigating how he likes to do things has been very different. I'll say that. But we here now, a week and 5 days away, man, and I'm super excited. I feel like my growth will be displayed on that stage.
That's what's up. And that's awesome, man. And so how has this prep been for you physically? I know you went through some physical challenges in 2024. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, man. We can go all the way back to like March, where I was pretty much about 8 weeks out from my first show. And, I got some blood work done, and blood work came back pretty, not bad, but it was some alarming things where we pretty much had to pull the plug and, started having like stomach issues here and there, which a lot of bodybuilders go through. But, for me, I'm very, apprehensive when it comes to those things. Like, as soon as I get, one red flag, I like to really dig into it and check it to make sure, everything's okay. So with me being 8 weeks out, I decided to pull the plug and, reevaluate some things. I literally took a month off from the gym to really make sure that my health was in check. And then once it was in check, ended up again, like I said, transitioning to a different coach. But even in this, prep with, my new coach with Ariel, again, like, some of the stomach issues ended up coming back, but I've been able to persevere through those things just by, relying on some of the things that I know would work, and relying on some of the things that, he's told me. And to be honest with you, like, there's been a few times where I wanted to quit, where I was like, man, this is not even worth it. Like, to be going through all these issues and kind of the same issues in a sense, but you know, sometimes you just got to dig deep and, you know, again, really believe in yourself that you can persevere and make it through. So it's been taxing, to say the least. And I've been pretty much dieting strong since December 28th. I remember when I first started getting ready for this year. So, but we overcame it, and we here, man. I'm excited. I didn't quit. I didn't fold. I followed my gut and just was able to make it through, man. So we'll see what happens when we step on that stage.
Yeah, and one of the things, man, that's a lot of people know by now is you have what's called Inside the Mind podcast. So how was it going inside John Reese's mind? Give people a little bit of taste of what it was to go inside your mind during this 2024 prep.
Man, I tend to talk to myself a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a whole lot. And that can get you into things and out of things. So again, there was times where I wanted to quit, and that's like the negative aspect of it. Like, do I feel like doing this cardio? Do I feel like lifting this weight? Do I feel like eating, you know, chicken and rice while everyone's eating whatever else around me? Like, a lot of those things come into play, and when, you know, you're having these self-talks, you can talk yourself into making negative decisions. But, you know, for me, whenever I trend that way, I always pray, and I always try to ask God to make me go the other way, to make me fulfill my purpose, in a sense. Like, I feel like I have a purpose in getting to the stage, displaying the work, displaying the hard work. And in order for me to display that, I can't trend in the way of making, you know, those negative thoughts turning into negative decisions. So the beauty of the mind is you only can have one thought at a time. And I know some people think you think a million things at one time, but realistically, like, you can't. And I actually heard something today via IG, of course, that, you know, the brain is not programmed to really think negatively unless you allow it to. So when I heard that, it's more about, okay, I can control my actions based off how I decide to perceive things and how I interpret things. So did I want to do cardio today? No. But I told myself, hey, we got to get through this to get to the next day. So my mind is 1 minute at a time. I don't look towards the 10th, which is tomorrow. I'm not even looking towards 2 o'clock and it's 1:43. Like, 1 minute at a time. If I can get past this minute, I won that minute. And that's what it is, counting these small victories to lead up to a big one.
That's dope. And you kind of touched on it, but maybe you can go on depth. I know we touched on it a little bit before going into this docu-series right here, man, but tell us even how it's been different for you this prep 2024 spiritually.
And that's been my saving grace, to be honest with you. Shout out to my daughter's godmom, LaShonda. She was on her devotionals for a while, and she actually sent me a few of them. So me and her kind of linked up to where, you know, we would share devotionals and talk. And also my boy Coop, he'll send me like Bible verses and Bible passages like pretty much daily. But it was one of those things where I was just like, okay, I'll read it later. But for the past, I say like month and a half, I've made a commitment to, before I even get out of that bed or before I do my first task or whatever, my cardio, I sit and I read and I listen to those devotionals. And what that does is that puts me in a frame of mind where, okay, God is with me all the time. Even when I'm suffering on this treadmill or Stairmaster, or I'm hungry or whatever, I know the fight and the battle is fixed. And what I mean by that is he's going to get me through no matter what it is that I'm going through. So whatever path that he's leading me on, I just have to trust it and have faith. And what's been different this year specifically is standing stronger in my faith. That's been the biggest difference. And knowing that what I'm doing is the right thing, I'm going in the right direction, because if I wasn't, he wouldn't have me here. And that's what I firmly believe. And honestly, that's made me have a tighter connection with my family. a tighter connection with a lot of people around me, because at the end of the day, I know what's meant for me is for me. So I think I've grown a lot spiritually more than anything this year.
And then lastly, man, you're less than 2 weeks out. The grind is real.
Man.
The grind is real, man. And so, aside from everything that you've been going through spiritually, mentally, and personally, man, I know everyone wants to know, what are you going to hit today? What's the game plan for today? And what are we going to be seeing in these next 4-part series?
Man, today we're gonna hit chest and shoulders today. International Chest Day, but we throwing shoulders, of course. And then you guys will get to see, you know, a live peek at my physique. Being 11 days out, daily changes happen at this time, man. So as long as I'm hitting my markers, my food, my water, my sodium, all that stuff that, you know, Coach Cuts has me on, everything is gonna change daily. Like, my weight is at a all-time low right now, 199 point something. It's in there, but yeah, it's gonna continue to get lower. I'm gonna continue to get more shredded, more cut, more peeled, more detail is gonna come out. And as long as I'm doing the work, I think we're gonna present something great, man. So I can't wait.
All right, let's go to the gym.
My guy.